We just got absolutely screwed, and here's exactly why.
SEC says, look, they're creating securities day after day after day. There's a Ripple case. They may not even win the Ripple case, but the Binance is very different because that's basically.
So for anybody that does not know, the guy you just saw in that video, his name is Cramer. He's a very well-known trader on CNBC that is known for always being wrong. And so when he just said that Ripple might win this lawsuit, or rather that the SEC might lose the lawsuit against Ripple, oh no, of course the entire XRP price started to come back down again, logically. Anyways, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you press that like button. We've been getting to 1,000 on almost every single video. Thank you guys a lot. So hopefully he's gonna call it a scam again, so, prices can soar again. There's also a little tweet that went out from Michael Burry, the big short guy, as he actually said he was wrong to say sell. And like I've stated many times before, there are many people in this crypto space who are eternal bears. And what that is they're always negative. They'll always say that things are about to go down because that way you can get a massive amount of credits if it actually does. Hear me out. If I start saying that Bitcoin will go down at $20,000 and I keep shouting this, I might be wrong for the next year or so, like Crypto Capo, but eventually I'll be right that Bitcoin's gonna crash from some point. If I just keep shouting that I've entered more shorts as the prices go higher, I can always keep saying, see, I told you so. And so what Michael Burry did is he was very heavy on the sell everything now, then deleting his Twitter. But then things went up a lot, and now he's saying, well, I was wrong. Cramer? No, he's not that type of guy. He says sell, and then about a week later he said, no, I'm telling you guys to buy. Anyway, I did not make this video only to laugh at Cramer for messing us up with XRP. No, there's actually quite a couple of different things that are screwing us over. Partially over on the US dollar front, which I'll talk about in just a second, but also very much so on the crypto field. Take a look at this. US Senator Elizabeth Warren has just launched an anti-crypto re-election campaign. Elizabeth Warren is building an anti-crypto army. That's, kind of awkward. She's literally building an anti-crypto army. You can't make this stuff up. This stuff is crazy, whatever we have to deal with here every single day. And by the way, a lot of people have been started talking about this Cramer giving us the little kiss of death. Because as I said before, guys, whenever he's bullish on something, things seem to go down. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but that's literally what happens every single time. Anyway, moving on. As I said, the US dollar is not in the best of positions. China and Brazil to settle trades in their own currencies, ditching the US dollar. I might have some overlap here as there are multiple tweets, multiple articles, but China and France compete first LNG gas trade using Chinese yuan, ending reliance on the US dollar for energy trades. Saudi Arabia entering a trade alliance with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and 4 Central Asian nations to step away further from reliance on the US dollar. And I've also been hearing some news about the UAE here, but since I'm not too sure, I want to keep that on a let's see basis, but it's pretty crazy how their reliance is ending, and basically the US dollar is screwed. I've also been seeing the comments here. Guys, what an amazing country, China, right? China's a great country. Respect to their bold move. Plus 1,000 social credits. Oh boy, do I love China. In the midst here, I should quickly say, guys, that a little while ago, I started partnering up with Fitburn because I think their mission is pretty interesting. A lot of my friends are also starting to hop on board, but they're trying to get themselves the first AI-powered burn-to-earn fitness app. They've seriously gotten themselves some very strong partners already in the real field, right? I'm not talking like crypto partners, even though they probably got those too. I'm talking some strong bangers. I mean, if you go to their website, which does look pretty freaking good, if you scroll down, I kind of don't want to show it, but if you're into fitness, if you're into fitness a little bit, these guys in there. Let me just say these guys are partnered up properly, all right? They've officially partnered up with Mr. Olympia. Again, I don't know how they got it done, but that's pretty freaking impressive. Anyway, all I'm trying to say here real quick is if this is something for you, they're launching on, or at least they have a vote on DAO Maker in like a day or something like that. They have it on April 1st. So obviously, you know what I'm gonna cast my vote onto, and all I'm just saying is make sure you check it out if you haven't. Again, I've been pretty excited for most things launching on DAO Maker, so if they could get that done, that would be awesome, which is why I'm saying if this is something for you, make sure you check it out. Because if it just gets done, that could be huge for Fitburn, and I'm pretty bullish on the project, that's all. In regard to the SEC, by the way, take a look at this. This is the Thai, right? The Thailand SEC. They're apparently softening its stance towards digital assets, planning to lift limits on ICOs. Well, in the US, again, we get this type of policy here, but We also have, for example, articles like the SEC chair Gary Gensler saying crypto laws are already existing and already quite fine, where in reality, I don't think anybody would really agree with him on this field. I think actually that the majority of people would very much disagree. US SEC focus on enforcement over clarity, Ripple execs ahead of lawsuit verdict. They're basically saying, hey, he wants to just take in money for some reason instead of actually getting to the bottom of what should be allowed and what should be, disallowed basically in the US. John Dean said on the matter, if these tokens are all securities or fraudulent, why would Fidelity have a token research team? Regulators are attempting to create a fire sale for crypto companies, including Coinbase. And honestly, that manipulation is surely not that far off, or at least it doesn't seem that far off. Investment giant Fidelity has announced plans to hire for its crypto and token research team with the ambition of managing a $4.5 trillion in assets. We also have this from Ripple's side, the SEC's 2.2, and this is what the article reflects to, billion funding request includes $680 million for 1,500 enforcement staff. So how much of this is for rulemaking to provide actual guidance versus more enforcement actions that stretch theories and the SEC's jurisdiction far past any faithful allegiance to the law? And there comes the question again, how much of this is indeed because they think it's right versus just we can, so we're gonna do it? Again, there's a very big battle right now between the CFTC and the FTC, SEC, and the only reason that's possible is because they both want this power and they both claim that they're right and that cryptocurrencies fall under their jurisdiction. I can still think of two things though. The US is not in the best situation in almost any department. Maybe they're just trying to be the worst crypto country out there. Maybe they're just trying to, maybe this is all one big scheme, for them to end their America's reign? Because think about it, right? They right now have all the power to be like a crypto hub because the major tech companies are in the US. But they're saying, nah, give it to China, give it to UAE, give it to other countries. At the same time, all these other major countries are also trying to take away their reliance from the US dollar. Maybe the rest of the world just knows the US is going down a very, very negative spiral. On the opposite end, maybe the US government, because again, the US government, you gotta understand this, still holds a ton of Bitcoin, a ton of crypto. Maybe they're just trying to create a fire sale to now claim as much cryptocurrencies as possible now that the prices are lower by flooding a lot into it as well. Just putting a lot of fear out there to then be able to get as much as possible before things start to pop off. And then all of a sudden they'll change their stance from being so, bearish and skeptical towards crypto to, again, following along with what you would expect from what's going on in the background, like for example with Fidelity, where all of a sudden they show tons of support. Other countries, by the way, are still bullish on XRP. For example, in Japan, we see many of these bullish articles every single time. And it's funny how many of these major news outlets are also starting to shift over to being more and more bullish on Ripple winning the lawsuit and on just reporting on XRP/Ripple news in general. It really made me think of this meme, when everything goes too well for 3 days in a row. Well, apparently there was a Jim Cramer to ruin our fun. You have to understand, again, Jim Cramer is part of it, but the bigger part in all this negativity is Mr. Gary Gensler, or the crypto policies, I should say, because Gary Gensler is not alone. In 2023, he just said, SEC's Gensler insists clear rules for crypto market already exist. But him back in 2018 said, there needs to be clarity in the market. However, the problem is, nothing has changed in these 5 years. Two more things I want to quickly say. One is my airdrop video explaining to you guys how to make money in crypto with a relatively low barrier of entry. I mean, it's not easy to do, but it's one of the ways I personally think where people that don't really have too much right now can hopefully get themselves a ton of money from a free airdrop. It's very simple to understand as I explain the guide. So I'll get that to you guys in 1 or 2 days from now. Again, make sure you press the like button for that because it's going to be hard work to explain this on a baby level. And second of all, if you don't understand that right now it's like a massive move to drop the US dollar, you're not understanding this, please take a little second to understand that we're absolutely getting screwed. Association of Southeast Asian Nations considers dropping the US dollar, euro, yen, and British pound for local currency financial settlements. First of all, I saw like, oh wow, that's pretty bullish for Ripple because this makes the cross-border transaction problem a lot bigger, I'd say. Also, this seems like we're going a step backwards, but in terms of economy, that's just crazy. And CZ tweeted the old tokens wasn't planned to be supported, but users first. notice regarding the deposits of old Radiant Capital tokens, Binance support. Just wanted to say, that's pretty wild on Binance's field for changing up their policies like that. But in regards to the coin itself, by the way, this is one of the coins that I'm pretty bullish on. Not sure if I've done a video about them already. After a certain while, you do so many videos, you start forgetting what you've done and what you haven't. But apparently they started listing today. Again, I've been involved with them for a little while. I think this is one of the times I've been most active on the testnet ever. And it's just kind of funny that I all of a sudden saw CZ tweet about it because, well, I didn't even know it was like happening all right now. I kind of forgot about it. And if you don't know what to do, earn interest and borrow assets cross-chain seamlessly. As I've stated before, I just got a lot more into Arbitrum a little while ago, and this was obviously before they did their major airdrop. And honestly, this, because of Radiant, I'd say that was the biggest deal as to why I got onto Arbitrum. Apparently, they also have launched on the Binance Smart Chain now. And again, I believe that I talked about it a little while ago, or maybe I actually never posted that clip. By the way, I have it so often that I make a cool concept video about something and then I never release it. But I believe I did talk about it when we were talking about why I'm so bullish on Arbitrum and the different things that are on there. Still quite bullish on Arbitrum. The only thing is, right now the airdrop has been given to everybody and I'm just looking into what the next big airdrops are going to be. Again, I'll make a video in about a day or two and get that out to you guys. But since Arbitrum is now live, I think the profit potential on like a crazy boost basis is a little bit lower. But as the airdrop has now come and Arbitrum has kind of like solidified themselves in this whole system, I think projects like Radiant are just going to keep getting bigger as they have adopted a very well adapting platform pretty early. And so I'm just very bullish on this. Just wanted to quickly give you guys that. Not even only talking about the token, also just talking about it as a platform. They're just pretty huge. And it's something that a lot of people miss out on if you're not that much involved with Arbitrum. But just know for me, this is good, guys. I like this a lot.